Hello again fellow Vana'dielians, Riki here and welcome to another video. Today we are going through how to solo Omen for job cards and for your Swartz crystals. We are gonna skip the mid-floor boss here by going to the smaller light on floor 2 to maximize our job cards and astral gain, so you will not fight any bosses when you do it this way. The reason for doing this is pretty obvious. Astrals go for a shit ton of cash still, or you might want to use them to R15 your weapons. And the job cards are to upgrade your AF gear to +2 and +3. If you want to solo all your astrals for your R15 weapon, and you average about 10 astrals for each run, and if you stick to doing one Omen run each day, it will take you about 60 days to complete one weapon, which actually is not that bad, considering that it takes you about 25 to 50 minutes to do a full clear, depending on job, gear, etc. Or if you sell them, that is still a good chunk of cash you will get over time, while also getting the job cards you might need. You also get pretty good capacity points in Omen, so don't forget about that. Things that are nice to have to speed this up and up the success rates for full clear are a good TP set, weapon skill set, and a hybrid set. Very nice to use auto target on, so you target the mobs that aggro if you are facing them. This can definitely be a lifesaver if things turn for the worse. So if you have not already, this is a good time to work on some proper sets for your TP, weapon skills and other sets. If you want to maximize your astral drops, make sure to tag every mob with at least Treasure Hunter 4. On Thief this is easy to reach obviously. Other jobs need DM augmented gear with Treasure Hunter. But if you need, just use Thief as your support job for that extra Treasure Hunter +2. I do this sometimes on jobs that I don't have more than Treasure Hunter 2 on with just gear. So definitely don't be afraid to do this. Also, don't be afraid to do this without any Treasure Hunter at all. But your astral yield will go down by a lot if you do it without. So get to work on that Treasure Hunter gear. Two easy to get equipment options for Treasure Hunter on any job is the Shack Belt and the White Rarab Cape +1. I will put a link for the items down in the description. There are other options like the Adolin ring, the Gorny ring, however I don't recommend getting this one over other rings. With all this you should average between 8 to 10 astrals for each run and 3 to 5 job cards if you hit the objectives that you can on the way. Don't forget re-raise and food. You can use temporary items in Rise and Jima for re-raise. Put it up just in case, you might pull too many mobs and die. It's annoying to ruin a run just cause you didn't have re-raise up. It's important to use the right trust. Depending on the job you go in as, it will differ a bit, and depending on what kind of gear level you are at. For this one on Thief I use a trust tank, just because Thief is squishy. I could use a hybrid set, but I like to have August there just in case. So if you feel like you are weak, cause some of these mobs do hit really hard, just pop a trust tank and you will be fine. If you don't have August, use Archangel EV or any other trust tank you might have. Or skip the trust tank altogether, if you feel sturdy enough. On Monk I just go without tank, cause it's just in the way, just as an example. Other trusts I like to use is King of Hearts for Haste 2, Dia 3 and Phalanx. Any red mage trust works fine. King is nice cause he uses Dia 3 pretty much right away, and he can also do the magic burst objectives if you do fire or light skill chains for him. If you are on red mage yourself or on bard with 2 marches, obviously no need for a red mage trust then. Fill in the slot with whatever you prefer then. Be careful if you pull aggro of mobs and do fire light skill chains though, cause King will AoE them. And yeah, that can get ugly real quick. Then I use Kultada for chaos and fighters role. I also use a healer trust obviously. I use Ignis since I have him. But you can use Yoran Oran, Apururu, Kupipi or whatever you prefer. I use Sylvie since I have Ignis. Other choices for Sylvie are Joachim or Ulmia. Sylvie does different things depending on what job you are on, so make sure you look up what she does for your job, so you don't waste the spot with things you might not need. Other things to note for trusts are Poption Toto 2 if you get magic burst objectives, since she will magic burst on any skill chain you might do. If you struggle self skill chaining, Poption Toto 2 and Archangel GK or Ayame. Or just wait for Shantoro 2 to get TP and skill chain with her. She will skill chain on your weapon skill. If you use one, she can do light or dark on. If you have really subpar gear, you will have to use different trust combos than the trust that I have mentioned. You will probably full-time Shantoro 2 and Archangel GK or any other trust that can skill chain a lot to make Shantoro pull most of the heavy lifting when it comes to taking the mobs down. It is possible to do it this way, but it will be slower. Just do trial and error if you are unsure on what suits you. Don't be afraid to time out or die and just retry. If you really want to optimize, you can pop up Joachim or Olmia when Kultada is done with his rolls, and then pop up Kultada again whenever the rolls go back down. This is a lot of work though, but it can speed things up if you need the extra damage. Most objectives are pretty straightforward when you are solo. Some examples are 3 physical or magical weapon skills, make 1 skill chain, 2k auto attack damage or 30k weapon skill, etc, etc. Just do the ones you feel that you can do on the job you are on and skip the rest. Some objectives can be too much work to be worth doing. Like if you're on a squishy job and you are on floor 1 or 2, and you get 10 times 500 HP cures objective, you might want to skip that one, since it's a big risk of dying and you don't have a lot of time to do those objectives on floors 1 and 2. It is, however, definitely possible to solo this for a full clear on any job. However, some jobs are gonna struggle more than others. But I have done this on Paladin and Bard, just to mention 2 that you might struggle with. I've also done this on basically every job in the game, so I know it's possible. On some jobs like Warrior with a Great Axe or Dark Knight and Room Fencer with Greatsword, you can use an entirely different strategy than what I'm showing here. You can basically pull big groups of mobs and just AoE weapon skill them down with either Fell Cleave or Shockwave. Since all those jobs are very sturdy, you can survive the incoming damage while you F them up with your AoEs. With blue or other magical AoE heavy jobs, you can obviously cleave stuff when you are done with the objectives. Just don't forget to tag your mobs with Treasure Hunter. Try it out if you are on a job that you feel can do it. If you don't feel confident in it, just do it the same strategy as I'm showing here obviously. But don't be afraid to try it or just pull smaller groups of mobs. But you do need a baseline of DD gear to finish floors quick enough. If you are killing too slow, you might have to skip some of the mobs on floors 1 and 2 and just go for the floor objective. The objective that lets you move up to the next floor. However, sometimes this is not possible. Say if you get a floor objective that is kill all mobs or kill one specific mob. If you are not quick enough, you might just time out. Tough luck, try again. If you are on a job that is squishy, make sure to stay back and pull with either magic, ranged attack or by any other means you have. And just pick the mobs off one by one. Things can turn south really quick if you get too many mobs on you. Especially certain mobs can aggro like crazy and they can F you up swiftly if you are not careful. Don't be afraid to use your DT set if you need. Or pop your 1 hour like on Thief with perfect dodge. It is very easy to save an oh shit moment with that. Or just don't get overconfident and aggro too many mobs. Easier said than done though if you grind this a lot though, since you get impatient, at least I do. Be especially careful with aggro on all of floor 2 and on floor 3 be extra careful around the Mandragoras, Porksies, the Floating Eyes and the Pixies, as these mobs can get extra nasty with you. That's pretty much it. I will show you some more examples on certain moments here. I've also already shown you all kinds of moments during this video up until this point. Good luck on your farming. And that's it for today guys. If you have any other tips or tricks that you might use or anything else you would like to add or ask, put it down in the comments. Also, if you want the Omen add-on I'm using, it will be in the description. It is very handy for this one. The skill chain add-on from another video is very nice here to be able to skill chain on the fly with your trusts for those objectives. I will also put a very nice trust guide in the description, so make sure to check that out. If you are interested, I stream over on Twitch a few days a week, so make sure to check me out over there. Did you enjoy this video? Then gently press that like and subscribe button and leave a comment, or why not share it with your friends. And don't forget to hit that bell button so you get notified whenever I put up a new video. You don't want to miss out. Also, make sure to look me up on Twitter and other social media for other Final Fantasy XI related stuff. And feel free to donate if you found this helpful. All donations are helpful, no matter if they are big or small. All info is gonna be down in the description below. Thanks again, and I will see you guys in Vana'diel.